Yeah, so we're live and we have Senator Lyons with us, and I believe you have a proposed amendment.
I do. I gave it to you the other day and I just have my one copy, but it really basically, for the record, Senator Ginny Lyons, and thanks for staying late.
No, we,
No, so I did give Senator Starr the proposed amendment yesterday and it is, will be up on the calendar for today, for third reading. I did listen to your report yesterday and understand that you moved the date out to 2031, thinking that you would give New York some time to implement, because they're at 29. But in looking at what New York has done, it's clear that was a compromise on the west side of us. And I think that if we're consistent with New York, we'll benefit, and we'll benefit in a number of ways. And we'll have the attention that we need from the seed dealers, and we'll benefit from having New York's deliveries. We'll be able to pick up some of those. The benefit to public health is so critical. I know this is about pollinators, but the more of the neonics that we put into the soil, the more it's going to leach out, get into water, or into the food chain itself. And we know how devastating the effects are on us. So the combination of synchronizing with New York and what they're doing and preventing continued 2 more years. If New York was in, that's 2 more years, we're putting stuff in the soil. And so I'm just concerned about that. So that's why I bring this to you.
Yeah. Well, we have had discussions in regards to that, your amendment. And I don't think the dates are quite right that you're talking about. And the New York law is at the end of, well, Brian, you know the history on that, explain that.
Yeah, and I think I did mention on the floor yesterday, the prohibition in New York takes effect for the growing season
Right.
of 29 in New York, which means that the seeds had to have been purchased in 28, because there's at least a 6-month interval. So what's in the ground are treated seeds for the most part in 29. And we won't have any ability to look across and see if there are any unintended consequences. How many waivers New York grants in that first year? We have had, at least I've talked to people across the way that say that there's a pretty good chance the great majority of folks over there are going to get waivers the first year, because the seed companies may not be able to make enough seed to get it over there in time. And it may be the 29 fall, which would push it to 30 before we actually have any idea whether the crop yields have failed or whether they're up or whether the bee pollen, whether we won't have anything to judge by, if you understand. So,
I understand that. I get it.
okay.
I mean, my biggest concern is on the public health side.
Well-
But then also, planting seeds in 2030, I put 2030 in. But I think staying consistent with New York makes a lot of sense for a lot of different reasons.
So I guess I'm not understanding the public health issue.
The longer we put neonic into the soil, and with seeds, the longer it persists and can cause problems in food, through the food chain.
We didn't really take any testimony on that here. We talked about
We
feed.
never got any that caused
Right.
problem.
It has that pesticide has some pretty ugly effects.
So the other issue is, and I'm sure you understand this because you've been here a long time. Um,
Are you
we
dating-
lowered our,
Are you dating the chair of the?
well, she over in the center, and I don't know, so I'm not dating.
Had to train him, had to
Just-
teach him everything he knows.
Just telling the facts, the house has 29 in there, and I mean, we had that back row full of farmers. And there wasn't one of them that was supportive of this bill. And they, we had VPERG and some other lobbying groups that hijacked this whole deal from the beekeepers. And you know that, because you wouldn't get all those emails that all of us have been getting. And we bow right out to it, okay, I don't wanna take on them at election time. But anyways, getting back to the facts, the only thing we got our farmers somewhat happy with is giving them an extra year to see analyze what's happened and what's happening and did happen in New York State. And that year is 31. 30, Brian?
Third.
Third,
Oh, 31. Oh, New York State,
Yeah,
yeah,
so we,
29,
huh?
New York's 29.
It isn't really. It doesn't take effect until the end of 29. So it's really 30, because everything's in the ground, and when that takes effect, the corn will just be getting cut in New York State, 29. So we need to, we like to give both sides of these issues a little bit. Well, the farmers are taking it on the chin, basically, other than the little extra time to pass this, to give them a chance to see what's happening in New York State. And basically, that's all they're getting.
I hear you.
And I think that if we wanna do stuff to really get people mad at us, which we seem to love to do. Why not get the farmers mad at us too? So we'll put it to them and shut them down in 29.
I have a sense that you're warming up for floor speech.
I'm not doing a floor speech, I'm just telling you the facts.
I hear you, Senator.
That
I
you want to
I appreciate
appreciate
it.
with your longevity
Yes.
and honor our committee's work on this that we've spent weeks and weeks on and not even offer the amendment. I don't know who's pushing the amendment, but the other fact I wanna bring up, as long as we're here in a quiet room, is how many dollars, we lowered our PCV count, so I think below the federal level. How many million did that little slip up by lowering that cost the people of Vermont? And now it's all been put on hold. We've torn down buildings, we've spent millions in our schoolhouses, and where are we? We were listening to the science and spent millions and we put it all on hold. Let's get real here and start doing things in a somewhat normal fashion and let us do our work. We know what we're doing. And it's been well planned out and thought out.
Well, can I just say one thing? I think that the fact that you passed this bill out,
It's
And
a
that you're-
miracle.
not a miracle, it's
Yeah,
critically
yes.
important. No, it's important. And I, for one, appreciate it a great deal. And you are you're putting a pin on public health as well as on the pollinators, and we don't want to attend on pollinators. No, only collectors do that. So, no, I just want to say thank you for the work that the community's done on this bill, because it is immense. It is immense, regardless what happens with this proposal amendment. Your work is really appreciated a lot.
Well, I question that at times because of the amendment. I mean,
Well, no, the amendment's about a date. It's not about the work. It's only about the date, and it's about a concern around the date, and
Well,
I'll debate that one, and,
well, the committee doesn't agree with the amendment and Brian's a reporter.
we're gonna have to listen.
But I'd love to get into it up there on the PBC money and.
Oh, that one's out of my, that's in here in the afternoon. You'll have to talk to this guy over here.
I think I got pushed to some other places. But anyway, thank you.
No, thank you, and thanks for taking the time.
Sure. Thanks.
We'll,
And the PCBs, the lower limit is something that, at some point, our committee's gonna have to deal with.
Right.
No question about it. But right now, it is on hold. So
I hope you earn the money to take care of it before you do the.
That's down in finance.
So we don't have to
You